Hi, and welcome to another one of my live LinkedIn Snappy chats. I can't believe it. We're at the end of 2024, and I've been doing this every single week, I think, except once or twice for a whole year. I've been doing Snappy chat. I've shown up consistently, and I'm so proud of myself, by the way. This is the last one for 2024, and I could not wish for any better guest to have on my last one for 2024. It's you, Ross. You are the most inspiring person I've met on LinkedIn and through the hounds as well. I'm not sure which one I met first, whether it's through the LinkedIn or hounds, but here you are. I've been on your shows a couple of times. You've been on Snappy Chat before as well. And I just love having you on because you inspire me. You are amazing at what you do. You're amazing at podcasting, live shows, and I've learned so much from you and marketing as well, of course. So, with no further ado, please tell us a bit more about yourself and we'll just see where this conversation takes us, which is what I'm really excited about. And I think we have Royce here. Royce, thank you. Royce Blake, if you don't know him, he's amazing. He's a strategist, marketing strategist, and a great copywriter as well. So do connect in the comments. Over to you,
Yes.
Ross.
Well, first off, let me tell you what an honor, what a blessing that I'm your last for the year. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Any chat and any time I get to have talking with you, Christine, is amazing. So thank you. And you inspire me too. I mean, you have such a positive, upbeat attitude. That's why I think you and I connected so quickly. And that's what I'm all about. I'm about connection, community building. I'm about purpose, right? Living with purpose and perspective in your life. And where does that do for you, whether it's in business or whether it is in your personal life? It just opens the doors to amazing things that can happen, right? We need to be looking and be positive about the possibilities in life that we have out there. And if you're not that way, it's always going to hurt your business and things you're doing. So really your perspective and your mindset is so critical in all that you do. So I do inspirational speaking. I do marketing coaching. I love to live stream and be do live stream producing. Those are the practical things that I do. But really, what I love best is just having amazing friends like you, Christine, amazing people in my life that I'm able to be there and support, and that also have been there and supported me. And I think that's when we come together. You've me say it before, but we're better together. We do more together when we collaborate, we work together, and we support each other. Life is so much better.
I think that's so true. And thank you so much for your kind words. I'm just going to give a quick hello. We've got several people here who wants to see you. Claudia is here. Thank you, Claudia. Louis is here. Thank you. Yolanda is here as well. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. And I love what you're saying because you know what? LinkedIn and social media can be a really lonely place. And I think we talked about this before under the lockdowns, etc. And we both decided somehow we got to figure out a way to connect with other people. Yeah. And we
Oh,
get
yeah.
creative. And you build up, I mean, wow, what you build up on LinkedIn in terms of your producing, your shows, getting people together, talking about all different things in life that we all go through. And I think you're so right. We can either let life take us down, and it's a mindset thing, isn't really, or we can go, you know what? We all have difficult things. We all have challenges in life. They're all different at different times, but we all go through them. That's what life is about. It's not supposed to just be a happy daisy life. It's supposed to be up and down, learning, growing on our own, but also very much, like you said, together, because together we can grow further, like you say. And I love that so much. And see, you are so good at multitasking. You're already in the comments as well. I admire that. I can't do it. I'm just seeing people there. So thank you. So I just love that because, you're so inspiring in terms of your outlook on life, in terms of how you approach connecting with others, in terms of how you build relationship that leads to business or friendship or something else, or just helping people. And I know that you get a real thrill, I think, but you tell me what really drives you in business, because I have a sense it's actually about really helping and making a social impact to some level.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm
it's
wrong.
really it's about the people. I love what Zig Ziglar says. You build the people, and then the people build your business. And what I think he really means by that is it's all about connecting and community and coming together to help and support and bless one another. And when we do that, amazing things happen. Whether it's your business or your life. And I can tell you, if you want to know what really lights my fire and gives me a thrill, it's to really encourage, inspire, and bless other people. find ways that I can be a positive impact on them. I may not have the energy, or I may not be in the same geographic location as a lot of people that I'm very close with, or people that I just know a little bit, but I still can find a way. Technology is amazing to be able to reach out and bless and connect. And a lot of times, like you said, life is up and down, and we have good and bad. And I think God gives me the strength every day to get out there and be a positive impact on people while I'm going through challenges. And we all have it. We all have our challenges. We all have our problems in life. It's just the way things go. Life is
Yeah.
messy, but how do you look at it? How do you what kind of a perspective do you keep through it all? And this is one thing I always tell people. People joke with me, and my beautiful wife calls me Pollyanna. And I don't know if you've seen the Disney movie, but Pollyanna is happy, positive all the time. And, you know, one thing about perspective is you got to realize that truly we're not happy and positive all the time, all of us ever, because there's things in life that are sad and that make us mad, and that things that don't go well and all of that. And we have to, I think we have to just really make sure and uh, take time through the emotions of life. But where do we go from there? Where do we go from there? Perspective, to me, as a positive perspective, is not being happy all the time. It's knowing that you're going to make it through, that things will be better, and positive things are ahead. There are opportunities and possibilities that are going to be better. You just have to hold on through some of the struggles. And that is exactly what I'm doing right now.
And I appreciate you, and you are such an inspiration. And you know what? I just had some thoughts because if anyone has been on Snappy Chat, they will know that I'm not prepared at all when I come in, which is what I love. It's totally impromptu what comes up. But I just had a thought from what you're saying. I was thinking back to me, and I'd love to say that I was always happy and joyful and stuff. But guess what? I burnt out in my job 9 years ago. I didn't even know what burnout was. And when I look back, I realized I could say, oh, it's all these toxic environments, but it came back to a common denominator. I could blame them, which I did, or I could look at the common denominator, which was me. And it turned out, as I got to know myself, that I was carrying around a little bit of the victim. I was carrying around a little bit of the resentfulness that can come with feeling like a victim, that things are done to you, rather than taking responsibility for myself and my life and going, you know what, no matter what I face, I can work through it if I learn to work on my mindset, my headspace, yeah, and my heart, to opening it up again, because my heart is shut down to some extent. When you have enough difficulties or people treat you in a certain way, you can shut down your heart and you can get hard. You can get really hard, yeah. And what I love now is that I have been able to change it. It took time though. So what about you in terms of your journey? Were you always just this positive and clear, or what was the journey that you've been through as well?
Well, it's interesting you asked that, because I was actually just consulting with a client before we went on today. And he is overworking himself. He's a business owner. He's young. He's trying to change the world all by himself. And that's admirable, that what he's doing is some really positive, great things. It kind of reminds me of our friend, Mr. Mike
Yeah,
Aschenbrenner, who are trying to
yeah,
take on so many amazing things, but need to learn to take time to rest, take time to take a deep breath, and take time to do things that are going to refresh you, so that you can be there for other people, that you can do the things you want to do. If you're not, it's just like the airplane analogy. If you don't put that oxygen mask on first, you're going to pass out and be no good for anybody. You do not want to pass out and do that. So I've always been positive overall. I have, because I had amazing parents, an amazing family. My mama was the happiest person alive before she passed away, went to heaven she had Alzheimer's. But you know what? She was a living example of what I always want to be. When she was in her final couple of years of Alzheimer's, I would go over there a lot. I used to be there almost every day. Then COVID happened. And then after COVID, back a lot, but she was later on in her years at that point. But she was happy and joyful. Half the time we didn't know what we were talking about, and we didn't know what we were laughing about, but we were talking, laughing, and singing and loving life. And she was that way. And I always want to be that way. So I choose that. even when it's a struggle, I choose to look and be positive every day for that. And it's really a choice. Christine, that's what we do every day. We wake up. What are we going to choose to do? What are we going to choose to think about?
Yeah. I think that is such a profound teaching, and sometimes easier said than done, but you're a great example of it, because it means that we actually have to become. And I just want to give a shout out. Mike Escherbrunner joined just as you talked about him. I don't know if you heard, Mike, you had spoken about just before you showed up. And Mike Ashburn is an amazing leader of the Hounds of Business community. If you don't know it already, please join us. It's an amazing place. It's where I also, I think, know you from, or maybe I knew you from beforehand. I don't know. But I know a lot of people on LinkedIn like you. And it's amazing. And I think what you're saying is so, so true, because it's a choice. You wake up in the morning, you go, oh, you can go, all these things are wrong. And that might be true. Or you can go, all these opportunities are here. But it comes back to, how do I choose to show up? Which comes back to self-awareness, which comes back to self-responsibility. Yeah, something I'm teaching some of my students at the university right now, when some of them forgot to show up to most of the classes and just didn't put in the effort. And in the end, I had to be a little bit more like, let's have a conversation about this. You can do what you want, but what do you really want? How do you want to show up? Who do you want to be?
Right. That is so important. And this is what I think, a life lesson that I can give everybody that's listening, that I have learned over the years. And this is how I frame everything that I do when I'm coaching, consulting, talking with people. These are things that have worked for me. These are things that have helped me. And I think if you make it your own and do something like what I did, it's going to help you. And that is number one, making sure that you are choosing every day from the get-go, first thing in the morning. You need some kind of a morning routine and time to refresh your brain, refresh your spirit, and just get ready for the day, and choosing your mindset while you do that. I do it first thing every day. Before I get out of bed, I do three things. Number one, I'm thankful and blessed for God, my beautiful wife, or my amazing family. Number two, I give myself a little pep talk and I say, I've got this. God has given me the ability and the talents to do what I need to do. I can do it. And a little pep talk. And number three, I say, today's going to be awesome. And the reason I say that, and people, of course, laugh at me because I get up at 4 a.m. and they think there's no way at 4 a.m. I'm saying today's going to be awesome. But the reason I do that is because I'm choosing positive outcomes. I'm choosing a positive outlook for the day. So no matter what happens to me, and yes, I could walk out the door, I could get hit in the face, someone could hit my car, someone could, say horrible things to me, bad things could happen. But when you're filtering it through a positive lens, life always looks better. First thing I
Yeah.
think when those things happen to me, because I'm expecting the day to be awesome, I think, oh, I'm so sorry for that person. I should be praying for them, and they must have some horrible things going on. And I just don't take it personally because I'm filtering it through a positive lens. And I think that is something we need to think about every day. How you start your day, what you're thinking about, and what you're setting your mindset on.
I think that is very, very powerful, and I like to say that I do that every day. But sometimes, you're just like, oh, I've got all these things going on, and you just rush in, and I can tell the difference when I start my day well by taking care of me first, versus when I just go, oh, I got to get going, yeah, and then things just seem to escalate in some way and form because I didn't take care of myself first.
Yeah, yeah, you got to do that. You got to do that because this is why I have a very, very, I'm really a very unstructured person. My tendency is to fly by the seat of my pants, but then I got married to my beautiful wife and I thought, I got to be a little bit more responsible. Got a job, graduated from college, got a job. I got to be a little bit more responsible, a little bit more structured. Then I had kids. Whoa, now I really have to be more structured and more responsible. And so what I learned is you have to make intentional choices and determine in your heart you're actually going to do them. So I have done my morning routine faithfully, day after day after day, without missing a morning, for a long time. I don't know how long, but a long time, because I choose it and I make sure I have time to do it. And if something else is going to suffer, something else is going to suffer, not my morning routine. I'm going to make sure I have that done.
I love that. And here's a lesson in this too is consistency. Yeah.
Yes.
Consistency in what we do is what makes good in is what makes you successful in business too often is about consistently showing up,
Yep.
consistently being willing to take the next step even when it's hard or you don't know what you're doing, etc. Yeah. So
Yes.
what works in life also works in business, interestingly enough, in terms of what we can do to be our best in our life, in our business, in our relationships. Everything is around consistency and how we show up. It's about taking responsibility for ourselves. And I have a question actually, because you mentioned around how you felt you needed to be more structured, you needed to be responsible, so you got a job, etc. Now, I have seen, and maybe I would say I was quite lucky. I always were very intentional about what I wanted to do, so I tried it out, and I wanted to travel, so I made it happen and live in different countries. But I have met a lot of people who have been stuck in a career or they chose something a long time ago that they didn't really enjoy and they're still not really enjoying, but they're like, that's, I'm taking responsibility, I'm doing the right thing for everyone else. What is your thoughts on this? Have you met those people as well?
Oh, yeah. Well, I personally think there's a lot of people living somebody else's life. What they're doing is they're being shoulded all over. You should do this, you should do that. This is what you should do. Well, maybe that doesn't work for me. Maybe I shouldn't do that because that's not me. And I found, especially early on in business, and then later with my own business, that when I do things my way and I'm really passionate about it, things go so much better. So people will say to me, and I'm very blessed and humbled by the fact they'll say, "Wow, I'll go speak in front of a group," and they'll say, "That was amazing. You were so inspiring." Well, it's because I'm speaking about things that I'm passionate about and inspire me. And so, because I'm in my zone, my flow, it is just coming out like effortlessly, right? It just comes out of
And
me,
it
just
gives you
like right now.
energy. Yeah, it actually
Yeah.
gives you energy rather than sinks you and locks you
Yep.
down.
Yeah, just like now. I mean, our talk right now, I love these subjects that we're talking about and the whole idea of how you're framing life and how you're going about things and what you've learned and how you're growing. And I love that. And so it's easy for me to talk about. I don't have to give myself notes and think about what do I do and give myself all these points. I know what I'm about. I know what,
Yeah.
and so I think that there's so many people that hate their jobs because they're just doing it for a buck. They don't really like it. It's not their passion. It's not their why. I tell young people when I talk to them, if you're doing a job that you hate and you're just trying to make money, I said, quit. And I usually just pause for dramatic effect and I can see the wheels turning, but that's not responsible. I mean, I want to have a job, and I'm like, okay, so be responsible, get another job, and move the direction you want to move. And I can understand short-term jobs to try to get somewhere. Maybe you don't love them, but you have a goal of where you're going. But you can't get stuck in the same old, because if you're trying to make it to retirement, I know so many people that have had a heart attack or something happened and they died on the way to retirement. And I'm not trying to be negative at all. You can't wish for the future. Live your life now. Choose the life you want to live. If it's not the life you want to live, find a way to make a change, because that is completely up to you. And a lot of people will say to me, well, it's not completely up to me. I can't control my job and these kind of things. Well, you can, because you can control if you actually work there or not. You choose that. And so if you don't like it, find a way out, find a way to make a change, and then say, thank you very much. Appreciate you, but I'm on my way out the door.
Yeah.
There's things you can do. You think you have to do these things, but it's really your choice, right? We get stuck into what do we have to do? I'll just tell you this last thing. I need reminders of that. My beautiful wife, back when I started my business, came in and was talking to me and asked me if I had time on a day during the week to do something with her. And I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I said, I have to do these meetings that day at that time. And she said, "No, you're choosing to do that." And she was exactly right. And you know what I did? I chose to change all the meetings and go do something with my beautiful wife. And guess what happened? Every person I changed said, "Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, we can do it another day. Oh yeah, no big deal." I didn't upset anybody. I didn't lose anybody. I just made a change and it all worked. And yes, may not always work, but usually it's not as bad as you think.
I love what you're saying. And what it says to me, without being selfish, it's about putting yourself first, because you cannot give to others. So you can do all the rituals in the morning, but if you're still going into a job you hate, or doing things you hate, or thinking you must do things because you have to make a buck, and I'm not saying money isn't important, absolutely is, then it's going to be very hard to retain that positivity throughout the day, because you're constantly not listening to your inner soul. You're not listening to what your body and your mind and your heart and your soul wants. Yeah, you're shutting it down, shutting it down, shutting down. And we all need to make money, but at least if you have an idea of where you're moving, like you said, move towards what you want. Yes, you
Right.
may have to go and get a job you don't necessarily love, but if it's okay and you somewhat enjoy it sometimes, then that can get, and it can get you to where you want to go. Then you're going to find purpose in that too. That then there's purpose in doing it. It's when there's no purpose in things. It's when we're going, I've just woke up and it's a terrible day again and I can't see the purpose in it. That's when we shut down, isn't it? Because we can't see the reason for doing it. We're just doing it because we feel we have to, which
Yeah.
doesn't help anyone, including the people that we're here to enjoy and chat to and connect with. And Mike says you gave him a mic drop there in terms of how he's lived his life until now.
Well, I want to say too that the my book behind me. You said the golden word to me, and that is purpose. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why do you get up in the morning? What is your purpose in life? If you're not living your purpose, if you're not living your God-given purpose, you're not really living your life. You're trying to do all these things, and a lot of it has to do with, we all have our own insecurities, we have our own limiting beliefs. We talk about that, our imposter syndrome, all these things. We don't think we're good enough, or why would people? Sometimes I talk to people on LinkedIn that were just in a board meeting at Microsoft with the CEO, and I think to myself, why in the world are you talking to me? And then I think, I know why, because they need to be inspired. They need to speak to somebody who's down to earth and not people that are pretending to be other people a lot of times. Sometimes big corporate is not the best atmosphere. And
Yeah.
so everybody has their purpose. You need to be living your purpose. Get my book if you haven't done that, because it's all about a purpose-driven life, about living a life of a good perspective and moving in a positive direction. And I'll tell everybody, yeah, I don't know if you know this or not. Some of you do, some of you don't. Was diagnosed this 2 years ago with cancer, and then this summer, after beating it the first round with God's help, I was re-diagnosed with stage 4 cancer in all throughout my body. And you know what? I'm not laying down and giving up. I'm choosing life. I'm choosing to live, and I am moving forward. I'm having treatments. I'm doing the things that I need to do, and I'm trusting God for the rest. But the whole thing is the direction my mind is going and what I'm doing. And I want to continue and inspire and encourage all of you and all the people that I meet as long as I can. And I'm a firm believer that God's not done with me yet. So I'm here for a while.
I'm so glad to hear it, because I want you to be around for a while. I want you to be around for a very long time. And yes, we can't control what happens tomorrow, which is why it's so important that we do choose the right things for us personally that day. And I'm not meaning that we
Yeah.
should do bad things for other people, but if we choose from the heart, then it's going to spill over to others as well. Isn't that right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, and besides, I have a beautiful, amazing, gorgeous wife who loves me and takes care of me. I have an amazing family, two amazing adult children. My number one daughter-in-law, who's my favorite daughter-in-law. She always laughs because she's my only daughter-in-law. And I have so many amazing friends like you, Kristine, and all of these amazing. I'm looking at Mike and Dr. New and
Uh,
Claudia and Royce and all these people in the comments, all these amazing friends. I want to be here and continue to do what I do. And I plan on it. So, you know what? We can always look forward to the future. And it's up to us how we look forward to the future. I look forward to great things still to come and positive outcomes in my life. And that's what I believe.
I love this so much. And I could keep talking to you for another 2 hours, no doubt, or even longer, but we're not going to do that because it's called Snappy Chat for a reason. And I believe in fantastic insights in a short speed of time. So thank you so much for being on today. Do you have any final words before you tell us a little bit about how people can buy your book, where they can find you, connect with you, see your shows, etc.? And
If
obviously
we
we've
have
got your
not,
LinkedIn going on at the bottom here.
okay, if you have not connected with me, please do. I would love to chat in Zoom and get to know you and truly connect with you. LinkedIn's a great place, but the best is russhedge.com. If you know my name, russhedge.com has all my information, how to connect with me, all my live streams, everything that I do, my inspirational speaking, all of the stuff is there. So please go there and you can bounce anywhere from there, but russhedge.com is the place.
You are an absolute inspiration. Dr. New says it the best. You are an inspiration and a community builder, Russ. You are amazing. We love you, and we certainly do, all of us. So thank you so much for being on here. I really
Thank you.
appreciate your time today.
Yeah, you're a blessing. Thanks, Kristine.
You're welcome. And thank you to everyone here in the live stream. We really appreciate you all showing up and all your fantastic insights here and sharing. So thank you so much. And we'll see you in the new year, if not before. I'll see you on LinkedIn.